Are you ready?
No, I actually feel sick.
Hi, I'm Claudia Bish, and this is Bishness.
No.
Bishness. Hi, I'm Claudia Bish. I'm struggling with Bish today. My own name.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Claudia Bish, and this is Business. No, I can't do it.
Right. Okay. We'll just skip that bit.
That is horrendous. So I'm here today to interview. Why are you laughing? I only work with professional people. Your tongue's yellow from your matcha as well.
Welcome to Bishness As Usual, the podcast about the people behind the careers. I'm your host, Claudia Bish, and each week I'll be diving into real conversations that go beyond the job titles. Expect honest stories, a few business gems along the way, and a reminder that behind every highlight reel, there's a whole lot more story. Now, let's get down to Bishness.
Here's the Bish you all wanted to see. Let's get down to business. Let's get down to Bishness. You ready?
No.
Comfortable?
No.
So I thought we'd start off with yourself, the CEO. I think a big question everyone wants to know is how did it all begin?
If we take it back to like uni days, came out of college.
Yeah.
In our family, it's very much, not for you, but I was the first grandchild of the whole family, first niece.
Congratulations.
But anyway, I was the first granddaughter, so there was this expectation that I had to go to university, and mum and dad were like, you have to go to uni, or basically you failed us. You didn't have that response, but...
That's why I was just a naughty little in school then, basically.
I always knew that I wanted to go into the media industry, but it never interested me being in front of the camera. Like, I just never wanted to do that. Basically, during college, you have to obviously shortlist where you want to go to uni and stuff like that, blah, 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 what you actually want to do as a degree. And I was like, I want to go into the media industry. And mum was like, my daughter's not having a media degree because it's dumb. And I was like, no, it's not. Huh?
Grace has a media
No, but it's different.
degree.
The thing is, I would hire someone with a media degree now. No. So it's not. No. Because in our generation, and keep that in our generation, it genuinely is like a respectable degree. Whereas I think for our parents' generation, they always were like, it needs to be a bit like the stereotypical obligatory GCSEs, where it's like English, maths, science. They were the degrees that mum and dad basically wanted me to do. She was like, you might not want to go into the media industry, so go and do internships. So then during like the last year of college, I went and did internships, and she's obviously planted the seeds somewhere along the line to say to everyone that's working, it was all like the big like corporations within media that I went to. And like Julie took me up EastEnders, and
EastEnders back then was
EastEnders was huge back then, and she was like, come and just see what they've all done, like behind the scenes, pick their brains.
And for everyone who doesn't know who Julie is, it's Patsy Palmer.
Oh yeah, sorry.
The one that shouts Ricky. No, you're more than that, Julie, sorry. But like,
yeah. And I was just kind of like, this world is so amazing. Like, I would love to be behind the cameras, but what did you do?
But why not in front?
Because I was never that type of kid, ever. Like, I didn't
Introvert.
being in front of the camera and in that world didn't appeal to me one bit. Like, it was, I don't know why I'm doing this now, but being behind the scenes, I thought was really fun, really creative. That's what I wanted to get into. So went to BBC, etc. And again, mum's obviously said, Julie, tell them all to say that an English degree is the way forward. And they were all kind of like, they definitely didn't do English degrees at all, but they were like, yeah, like, if you want to get into this whole world, then English degree. Like, we'd all hire you if you had an English degree.
So EastEnders is the reason you saw and wanted to go
No, because then it was like Capital FM Global at the time, places like that. They were all very much, again, the times have changed now, but back then, I know it wasn't years and years and years ago, but it was still in that period of we all want someone that seems really smart and they're just smart subjects, even though I don't really believe in that. But anyway.
Yeah, back then there was no really such thing as YouTube.
And you didn't have GCSEs now. You can take business GCSE, stuff like that. We never had that at school. It was the really academic subjects. Yeah, everyone was saying, do this English degree. So I decided to go to uni. I didn't want to go to uni.
How did you pick your uni? Obviously you went to Essex. Why did you pick Essex?
Because
you liked Towie.
I did quite like Towie at the time, but basically I'd shortlisted, I think you might have to shortlist 3, and I'd picked Newcastle. I think maybe the other one was like Liverpool. So the other options were really far from home, and I was obviously a massive homebody, so I was like, when it came to it,
didn't leave the room.
okay. I didn't want to be at a uni that was really, really far from home. I wanted that luxury of coming home if I wanted to. So went to uni, did a year in the shared accommodation. This absolutely isn't for me. I want to be at home. So then the next year commuted there and back, 2.5 hours there, 2.5 hours back to continue the degree. And I was like, I still really want to, I hate this degree. It doesn't really serve me in any way. I really want to get into the media industry still. Like, that's what fascinates me. And I was working for a magazine at uni, doing hospital radio, just trying to kind of
I remember
out.
You done hospital radio. How did you find that?
It was all right.
You used to speak, didn't you? Literally like you're doing now.
Yeah, but it was more behind the scenes. But it was, you knew you were only speaking to probably about 10 hospital beds, so it wasn't
and
daunting.
half of them were dead.
On their deathbeds.
You might have actually been someone. Your voice might be their last ever voice they heard.
That's horrible for them.
Can we get an intro of what you had at
No,
hospital
I can't
gig?
remember. I don't know if I've got trauma from it, because I actually can't really remember that period.
So what would you say? What sort of music was it?
Oh, they'd text in.
Oh,
the patients
doing all right
or family. Yeah, maybe they weren't dying. They would text in requests.
Yeah.
So yeah, second year of uni, I was working for a magazine at the time, doing internships. I did one internship for, I can't actually remember their name, which is really, really bad, but it's probably on my LinkedIn. I don't know. It was an insightful internship because all of these things I was doing was actually narrowing down what I knew I did and didn't enjoy. So again, I always say that if you are unsure of what you actually want to do, always test certain fields. Commuted there and back for 2 years, then got offered a job with my godmum Susie, who had a fashion brand at the time. She had a business called Vampire's Wife, which at the time was really, really thriving. And again, it was all behind the scenes, but also she is a really renowned model.
Yeah.
So I was seeing bookings happening for her and all that like behind the scenes.
And what sort of names were you dressing?
Kate Middleton, like massive, massive names. But I was more doing PA work, which is really, I suppose, intertwined into
So you were like
management.
the Devil Prada Wears Black or something? Is it?
Devil Wears Prada.
You were like that, the woman from that, but Susie was
Not
nicer.
quite. She was a lot nicer
Yeah.
than Amanda Parisi, yeah. So I was working there part-time. I then was approaching my third year of university, got a scholarship to study in Canada for a year. Completely paid for. So we've obviously been to Canada as like a family, and
Yeah,
I loved
sick.
it.
They do
So
little ice
sick.
cream, like mini balls, mini melts, was it
Mini
called?
melts, so good.
Unforgettable.
We had them in Tokyo. They sell them.
We done a month in Canada, didn't we?
Yeah,
For like on
yeah.
a summer holiday sort of
Yeah,
thing.
so it was unbelievable, and I was like, okay, if I'm going to study anywhere, let's just give this not American dream but Canadian dream
Yeah.
a go. I had a boyfriend at the time,
What one was that?
the one you set fire to his hair.
No, cut that out. Cut that out. It was a mistake, big mistake. But he had a lot of hairspray in. No, but yeah, but like, just like I was lighting a candle, like.
You were really young at the time too. You were
Yeah,
just messing
I
around
was a
with
little
matches.
devil. Yeah.
So I had this boyfriend at the time.
He actually has no hair now. That might be to do with me.
The stress.
No, it didn't burn. And like,
No, it
literally
was-
singed, like if you were to singe my.
Yeah, it wasn't as dramatic as what I've made out. But anyway, really last minute decided not to go to Canada because I was with this boyfriend at the time. I don't want to
You
leave
didn't wanna
family, but I
lose
don't
him.
want to break up with him to go there for a year.
Yeah.
Which on reflection is crazy,
No,
but also it did work out
yeah.
in my favour. I then went back to uni and said, look, I've made the decision that I don't want to go to Canada, so can I just enrol in my subjects and just finish my year? And they came back saying, unfortunately, you've left it too late. The modules that you want to do are no longer available. Like you've missed the boat, they're all full. You have to wait a year. I'm obviously then like, oh, God's sake, I need to figure out what I'm doing for this year before I then finish the degree. And Susie was like, look, just come work for us full time. So I was like, okay, thank God that's sorted. I'll just do this full time for the year and then go back, finish the degree and then figure out what I want to do in media.
Working for Susie must have been like massive though.
Yeah,
like it is a good leg up that.
It is. It was a really good experience and it was a really big
like
learning
you had
curve.
Susie and probably one of the biggest fashion brands. I had Dad and I was washing boxes of fish. We can see how
Don't be bitter,
you
be
got
better.
where you are and I am where I am. But cheers mum, cheers dad.
And then, so yeah, I went there full time for a year and then we were maybe like 3 or so months into that. And basically the brand took like a pause because of personal reasons.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like where do I go from here now? Because I've got the rest of the year until I need to go back to uni. So you can't really get fully submersed into a whole new career.
Yeah.
What do I do? And then at the time, the Kardashians was like, I mean, they're still huge, but I was like, like in awe of Kris Jenner, and I thought, right, Kris is doing 20% out of each kid. There's 5 kids, so she's making 100% and not really having to be in the limelight.
Yeah.
Like I love, even though she is in the limelight at this point, she was still quite
behind the scenes
more so, and let the kids all be in front of the camera. And I was like, I like that. And I like the idea of managing. I'd had experience at the magazine. I'd had experience at this point for like 2.5 years with Susie, seeing how the modelling industry worked, doing PA, like all PA work there. And blogs were huge at the time. So I was like, do you know what? I'm going to manage bloggers, hence it being called the Blogger Agent.
Yeah, because this, like, you named it the Blogger Agent.
Yeah.
Do you regret naming it the Blogger Agent? Or... Because back then, bloggers were the biggest thing. It was like people would write blogs or books, weren't they, basically?
Yeah, it was
like about their days or where they've been. And that it was huge. Do you even see blogs anymore?
No,
like, is it a thing?
Really. It is a thing, but no, it's...
And that's why you came to the name of the Blogger Agent.
Yeah. But I also came up with the name The Blogger Agent because I wanted it to be... I didn't want to be in front of the camera at all. And I didn't want people to... I was 19, so I thought, no one is going to take me seriously. I don't want anyone to know it's me. So I really sat back, didn't make me a thing to do with it at all. And thought, okay, it's a bit like 007 James Bond, like the Blogger Agent. That was the vibe I was going for. But like Instagram was so in its infancy, you'd have like white borders and not like massive accounts.
Yeah.
Like the blog scene was huge and it wasn't really tapped into at all. Back then it was only really TV agents, traditional media, model agents. There wasn't any commercial agents for creators. So I was like, that's what I really want to tap into now. I knew I was lucky in that I had a few friends in the industry that I knew personally that I was like, look, obviously tell me to do one if it's not a fit, but no one else is doing it. Would you mind if I like look after your commercials and I'll manage you? To be fair, everyone was really open to it because there wasn't actually anyone at the time offering that service.
And were the blogs, like, were they getting monetization from them or not?
No. So before
so
I
approached
approached
them,
they weren't
in this industry really at all?
It was a case of like one of the first clients I had, this brand had done like a whole clothing range with one of the Kardashians, and I thought this is so cool that they want to use me to like book their placements. So went up to their head office, which I was so scared about because I was like, now they're going to see that I'm really young. And I didn't really do many things for like a few years after that because I was like, no, this is going to break the whole cover if I'm 19 going to all these
being
massive...
behind the laptop.
Yeah, I liked being behind the laptop, and I knew, again, I had to be to do the English degree. Like I was always articulate and good on emails. So I was doing that for maybe like 6 months, and then obviously the final year of uni came around and I thought, I've done 2 years. I should probably finish it off. Went back, finished it off, but at the same time was working full time doing the agency work.
What did you see in the space that you thought, I'll create a business here and it would earn money? Was it more out of a passion and a chance, or?
Oh, 100% passion. I didn't think, oh my God, I'm going to make money from this. I knew... You
just wanted to be involved in this
world.
I
just wanted to be involved in the world and have like something of my own that wasn't necessarily out there at the time. There was like this massive gap and I could fill it.
So no plan, just figuring it out as you went along?
Yeah, no plan. Not really any
plan
at all.
I think you evolved with the industry.
Oh yeah, 100%. If I always say, if I tried to get into it now, I don't feel like I'd be able to get it to where it is if I started today. So at this point, I was like 3 years into the agency and was like, I feel like this is time that I move out of the house now, which on reflection was wild. So I got my own flat and
a dog.
And at this time the talent were getting like £50 to £100 for a post, and I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like, how are brands paying £50 for someone just to dress?
Brands must have loved them days.
Yeah, but it was like the coolest thing ever, and I was just racking up the £10 commission here and there, and I was like, right, I'm gonna move out.
I'll moved into one of our like our grandparents' home.
Yeah, so I moved into but I still paid rent.
Yeah, I'm not saying they gave it to you.
No, but I don't want it to be like
I know,
a situation where we just had this free flat. Like, I still paid the exact same amount of rent that I would have paid anywhere else. But to be fair, he always said, I want to give it to you for nothing, but the whole point of moving out is to learn to stand on your own 2 feet. Like, you have to, I mean, again,
to put you in good stead, basically.
Yeah, basically. And to be fair, the rent I ended up getting back. But while I was paying that rent, I didn't know at the time that it was just being put aside.
You might not be here now, but where's that cash?
But it was being put aside for my first house deposit.
Wow.
I moved out. I wasn't there long because I was like, oh my God, what have I done? I want to be back at home. And I was just so secluded into this environment of living in this flat, which was also my office. And it just got a lot. And again, we're going back to like 7-8 years ago. An incident basically happened where contracts started to evolve. And I missed something on a contract from where I was getting busier and busier and was like, okay, this is getting bigger than me now. And I feel like I need to hire in people so that mistakes don't happen. That whole situation was rectified so quickly, but it was almost like, okay, let's take that as a bit of a warning sign.
Wake up call.
Yeah. Mum and Dad were like, move back home and just get a separate office. Because then I'd be in the office all day, but still have that escape of just coming home instead of I was working from 7 a.m. up until 1 in the morning because I wanted to hit America as well and not miss that market. So it got really unhealthy. So I'd finish work, sleep and just be in this same environment, and it was like a 24-hour thing. And
I remember we made an office in the spare room. We had
that was before I got the flat though.
We had what was it? Like a foam TBA thing that we stuck on blue tack on the wall.
Yeah.
Painted it all white, like a white desk.
No, that was before I moved out though.
Got some we put electric sockets like.
Yeah, and I put it on Instagram thinking it was like this.
It did look cool. I wonder if you could find that picture.
I did. I posted it on my story not that long ago. So yeah, moved back home because it was just the wrong decision for me to live out of there, and got my first office and first member of staff.
Your first office, let's talk about that. That was in a storage unit.
Yeah, it was.
So like you see like yellow big box storage and things like that. It was like you found the room you needed for as little as you could get it, really.
Yeah.
And it was in like you'd walk past and everyone would be like getting their storage units. Builders would be in there with their tools in the morning.
Yeah, it was nuts.
And you had a little office. It was nice.
It was
2
nice.
floors,
and it did the job.
It
was nice.
Job.
But it was really scary for me to commit to anything that was better than that at the time. So especially if I was going to take on a staff member as well and having that as an expense. Obviously I wasn't paying for rent, so I almost just basically
moved the rent to an office.
Moved the rent to an office. I hired my first staff member, which to be fair, it felt so right at the time. I felt like everything was really going to plan. And then, cut a long story short, she then, I don't know what happened. She went travelling for like 3 weeks.
To find herself.
No, I don't think it was to find herself. God knows. But she basically had like a 2-3 week holiday. And I took over for those 3 weeks. And during those couple of weeks, I was like, whoa. You're doing everything how I wouldn't do it. And I want this company
to be a representation of you.
Yeah, and I know you can't expect you from everyone else, but you're just not doing it how I want to do it. And if I really want to get this company into a really cool place and be respected, you're not the person.
I do always think, and I look at it, when owning a business, I'm not talking from experience, but like no one will care about that business as much as you.
Yeah, no, for sure.
No matter who you employ or what you give, no one will be able to put the graft you, the person that owns that and wants it to succeed.
No, but I agree. I do agree to that, but I do feel like now I've got a team where they do genuinely care. Basically. Yeah, so cut a long story short, she came back from her holiday and I was like, look, you're doing everything wrong. I felt like I dealt with it in a fairly sensitive way, but I just said like, look, like you're not doing everything how I want it to be done. We need to have a conversation here. And I think from where she was like the first employee, she just didn't take that criticism well at all. And she was like, it just went down like a complete lead balloon to the point where she was quite disrespectful back. And then I was like, you're not coming back. That's it. This isn't going to work at all. Now, if you can't be open to criticism, then nothing's going to change. It was a really traumatic time. Like I felt like I'd worked so hard to get to this point, trusted to bring someone in, and she just completely did me over basically. And then
it happens in all business though. Actually.
Yeah, and there's so many moving parts to a company that I think people just have no idea about. Yeah, and then I obviously hired from there and thought, do you know what, that isn't going to put me off. I still need a good team around me. Then hired...
I know who.
No, I then hired a lawyer because I thought this is actually a really important part of the commercial side that people don't necessarily... Like, I don't have the expertise there and I'm not going to pretend that I do, so let's actually get a professional in. Yeah. That was the best move. Still with us today. I then hired...
She is good. She's helped me out a couple of times. Like, she is good.
And then it was just a snowball effect, to be honest.
So what was in you that decided I want to do my own brand rather than where you worked under being a PA or... like go into another one of these companies and just do it as an employee rather than own your own company?
I don't know. I still question myself every day.
But like there was no, like I want my own company growing up or...
No, not at all. I feel like I always had that instinct from young where it was like, I feel like I will always want more. I don't know how to explain it.
I think as well, growing up, mum had a salon and she had, how many chairs in there? About 10. And like it was busy.
Yeah.
She then bought a
Multiple
barber up the
options.
road, put a flat on top of both,
Yeah.
flat behind it.
Yeah.
And her, like our nonna and nonna, owned their own cafe, bought apartments, bought
Yeah.
flats, sorted out the like even their children as much as they could. And dad, probably since he was 16, 17, was straight in the fish
Yeah.
fish game and
Yeah.
owned his own company. So, and our uncle owned his own company and our aunties were on their own, like didn't work under anyone, you know?
Yeah.
So looking at it, a lot of our family was all built around your own success.
Yeah, it was never a case of I want to own my own business at all, but it was just always ingrained, I think, from young that, I don't know, I would have always been happy, I think, working for someone. That was never an issue for me at all, but like I really enjoyed my time with Susie.
Yeah.
It just kind of all
Led
fell
you,
that way.
yeah.
I think as well, I saw like what was going on in traditional media.
Yeah.
And it felt like everyone in management at that point was, not to be sexist, but it was kind of 50, 60-year-old men that
Yeah.
had all this success but were so behind and backwards on how the whole industry was evolving. And I was like, well, like,
Where
this
everyone
needs
used to have like
change.
dirty black books on secrets of
Yeah.
people and things like that. Well, I don't think that's the case at all anymore.
No.
You've got your office, you've got your new 2 members of staff, the lawyer, you're still at home. When did you think I'm all in on this? This like from day one, or was there a moment that you were like, there's no way I can go back on anything now. This is what I need to do.
Oh, I think I had that from the moment I took it from outside of the spare room to the office. I was like, I'm all in now.
It has to work.
Yeah. It doesn't have to work. If it doesn't work, I'll figure it out. But
Yeah.
at that point, I was still young and I knew that if it didn't work out, I'll be fine. I'll work it out. But now I don't have that mentality. But at that point, there was flexibility that if it worked, great. If it didn't, then fine.
So early on in your company, what would you say was the biggest things holding you back? Or do you think you ever got held back?
I think I worried so much about my age. I started at 19. I had the first staff come in at 22 and had to step into that like boss role, which was fine. But then I felt like I couldn't be that front facing because no one would take me seriously, even though by this point the
Well, I
business
think-
is thriving.
I think you look at it now, if I was to have a manager or you were to have a manager or Grace was to have a manager, well, we all have management. If you were to look at it and think, oh, there's a 20-year-old running my or structuring my career, you wouldn't feel as comfortable, no.
No, it is bizarre. I think it's a weird mentality, but also I try to overlook it a little bit because I was really good at my job at 20.
Yeah.
It wasn't...
But the English degree, I think, helped. I used to listen, like you used to have calls in your bedroom, and I used to listen, and Mum used to listen. We used to sit behind the door and be like, we were shocked in how you spoke and how you like presented yourself to some
Thanks.
of the biggest brands that are out there still. I think as soon as we were listening to your calls and seeing what you were doing, there was no one who was going to be close to you in the game.
That's quite sweet.
I know, I've got to be nice on camera. Do you look back and go, wow, like, no.
No.
You don't give yourself enough credit at all.
I don't think it's about credit though. I think...
Because I'd look back now and I'd be going, I've made it, bitches. Like you're there like, I don't know, like
No, because I feel like
you
there's
have
still...
smashed
No, but
in
there's
what
still...
you have created.
There's still so much that I want to do with it that I don't feel like I'm there yet. And I
Really?
don't know if I'll ever get that, really. Where
But I think
oh my
that's the
God, wow.
snowball effect. When we were kids and things like that, I used to think 20 quid was so much money. Then like you get older and you think £200 so much money. Then you do like 3-4 jobs like in a week to like earn more, and then you think 800 quid is so much money. You're never happy. You're always chasing that next goal.
Yeah, 100%. I was always so burnt out,
Yeah.
like really badly. It wasn't a case of I can switch off at 5 p.m. and just go again at like 9 the next morning. It was never that. So I was, I think, mentally in a really bad place with it. I got to a point where I was like, when I've saved 20k,
Yeah.
I can quit and just use that as my comfort blanket to just work somewhere and start something else. Like, and then you hit that 20k and you're like, oh my God, I'm so unhappy still. So like, let's just set the next goal at 30k. Bide me some more time. then you hit that and you're
So
like,
what are you at
wow,
now?
the 30k still hasn't, I can get 3 Chanel bags now,
Yeah.
but why am I still so unhappy? Like,
So what's making, like, are you happy now?
No.
You are happy?
No, I'm not, but I've learned, no, but my point is that I feel like it got to a point where I set myself all these goals, kept hitting the goals, thinking they were going to bring me all this joy, and they didn't. And I think I'm still on that trajectory now where I know what I want to do next with the business. And maybe when I hit that, I'll find happiness, but it's probably unlikely.
Wow, deep.
No, I'm not an unhappy person at all, because I've found happiness in other areas of life and stuff like that because I allow myself a little bit more free time.
Yeah.
Whereas the first, honestly, like 7-8 years of business.
You were always stressed.
Yeah, I didn't take
You was
one
always
bit of
worried.
rest.
You was always stressed. You were always, yeah, like you were always calling us crying, like, oh, this contract's not come through, and oh, they have found a loop in this. But like, this is the most comfortable I've seen you within yourself and like what you're doing.
Yeah, because
it's the happiest Claudia I've seen.
Yeah, because I have gone through a lot of changes, but the first 8 years were live, eat, breathe the business. Like, I didn't allow myself any free time.
So you say, for like advice for people in a business, is try and keep your life separate.
No, try and have a life. Don't allow your business to be your entire life. It's really bad advice, and I wouldn't advise that to anyone. But in my experience, doing that and acting like that for those 8 years got the business to where it is now. Would I do that again? Absolutely not, because it completely damaged me. Like, it got to a point, I mean, this is obviously like a really deep conversation, and I won't go fully into it, but you would have seen, I got into a state about 3 years ago, two years ago,
yeah,
where I was like, this isn't sustainable. Like, I actually can't do this. Bear in mind, I started when I was 19, so all my friends were nights out every night.
Yeah, so I wanted to touch
life.
on this. You didn't really have a social life.
No, not at all.
You've got a great group of friends.
Yeah, like, yeah, and I'm so grateful that they've stuck by me from being such a recluse for all these years. But it did get to a point where 21, everyone is having their fun stage.
Yeah.
And every time it's, no, I can't come out tonight. Because I knew I had a meeting with America or a really early morning meeting or anything like that. I didn't want... Also, there was an element of, okay, I need to keep face. I don't want to be slaughtered down West Street. Like, that's not what I want to do. Like, this is my priority and I want to take it serious. But equally with that came them all giving up with asking me to go to anything because they knew it would be a no.
Yeah.
So then that just became my life. I would see people. I wasn't like
they'd turn up to your house.
It was like that. And then when I got to the point a couple of years ago of being like, I actually can't cope anymore. This is too much. Everyone was like unbelievable. All turned up to the house. I turned my phone off for like 2 weeks, which is, I've never had a holiday.
Yeah, me. It's in your Insta highlights.
Since starting the business, I've not had a holiday where I've switched off.
Yeah, you'd always have the laptop
I've gone on holiday, but I've gone to the pool with the laptop.
Yeah.
That's how it's gone. And I'm still like that now, to be fair. I don't really fully switch off. Lake Como this year was the first holiday I've actually really put my out of office on and said to the team, please leave me alone. Looking
at what you've created and where you are now, what would be your biggest advice to someone not in this industry, just starting a business?
No, because I feel like the place I'm in now, I would say don't do it.
Don't build your own business would be your advice.
Yeah. Only because of what I feel like I've had to give up.
I think you hold a lot of resentment, like, to what you've built, and I think a lot of people give a left arm to be.
Oh my God, I'm
where
so
you are.
No. I know I'm so blessed and so grateful, but I don't want people to think that having that comes at no cost.
No, it comes at a lot of a cost, but I think soon you will start to realise that it was worth it.
No, I know it was worth it.
If I could give up getting plastered on West Street or whatever with the boys now, or getting in some stupid situations and circles that I did when I was younger, I would switch it in a heartbeat to be in a position that you've built.
No, I don't want that to be confused with me not being grateful. I'm so grateful. I know that I'm so lucky. Yeah, it's come with a lot of hard work and at cost.
With success comes hard work, I think, and there has to be sacrifices along the way.
No, it does. I think if I was to say to anyone that is going to go down, like, just be prepared.
Yeah.
Don't go in it thinking it's like an easy route and easy cash.
When I've been an employee, I want to get there as late as I can and leave as early as I can.
Yeah,
that was my
Island.
Yeah. The podcast is about you, okay? As an employee, and especially in some of the jobs I went into, that was like the way I would feel about the job, because there was no love towards what I was doing. It was just me sitting there to earn my money.
But I think, and again, this is so big for me, I think a lot of people will get into a job slave and not see reward. Like, I really do try and reward the team. Like, I genuinely am really grateful for the team that I have now.
If there's one person who helped you get this far or inspired you the most, who would that be?
Mum and dad.
Not your little brother. Cheers. Why mum and dad?
Did you expect it to be you as the answer?
I actually used to work for the blogger agent here and there, setting up the desks at the storage unit.
You would turn up to the office and write loads of shit on the whiteboards, and I'd be like, oh my God, we've spent ages making
I used to look
all.
after the dog, Basil. I've got literally photo evidence.
Okay, I've got photo evidence of the whiteboard saying like, my sister's a bitch and stuff like that.
So mum and dad, getting back onto a serious note, mum and dad, why mum and dad?
I don't feel like there's anyone else that I'd really look at and be like, oh my God, I'm so inspired by you. I think,
Well, Kris Jenner.
yeah, but I think it's a different type of inspiration, isn't it? And I feel like you never truly know what, like we lived with it.
Yeah.
Mum and dad have built a life that they really enjoy. And
If
I
there
would
is one
love to-
person that I look at in business and think they have sacrificed everything to do it.
Dad.
I was going to say mum, no, I'm joking. His dad. Like that man, take my hats off to him. Like 4 a.m. still now going 57, gets from since I was a kid. Maybe as a kid I probably worked a bit like a lot longer and probably more like 7 days a week rather than 6 days a week now, 4 a.m. till like 5 o'clock in the afternoon every day.
But it used to be like 7 p.m.
And he did, and he used to be a lot more stressed, and he's calmed down a lot. But that is someone who, if you were ever going to get work ethic off, that's the person.
100%.
That was built within us, and as a kid growing up, anything important, he was there. Any other time, he was at work.
Yeah, I had this conversation with mum as well. I think we never knew any different. So seeing them work all the time was just our normality. But you knew dad was stressed, but I don't feel like it was ever really brought in to home.
No.
So when I started the business, I said to mum, like, why didn't you actually warn me about everything? You just let me go with it.
And I think as well, we don't give mum enough credit. Mum retired, when she was 40?
On her 40th, I think.
On her 40th birthday. And everyone would go, oh, like your dad, and like but she did slave away.
Yeah, 100%.
Like she's built like how many properties, how many businesses, and has kind of got a business model is I don't need to be there, but I receive an income, which is a dream. I think we don't give her credit because dad works so hard, where mum has done the opposite kind of module to what he's done. Yeah,
they've had completely different, I think, work views. They're two completely different industries as well. Dad.
Mum's gone back to now working, doing the antiques and things like that as more of a passion, and I love that. You built such a public business, and we've touched up on it, but why did you want to be so behind the scenes? I know you said it was maybe to do with your age, but was there any other reasons?
What were you trying to get at?
No, just asking.
I don't know. To be fair, the age thing was like a massive factor initially.
Yeah, but that was for a few years, and then and
then I started building the team, and then I became, I think, just used to not actually being front facing there, and it was working that I didn't really want to break that. I was just like, do you know what, I don't actually need to be so full on. We're talking about pre-COVID now, so you had Skype, all of the meetings and stuff, especially abroad, they were all on the phone. So it wasn't a case of, oh my God, my camera has to be off. I didn't have to really face that situation because it was all digital. Emails and phone. It wasn't ever camera unless you were going to an in-person meeting, which I would avoid, which was fine. But yeah, it was just working. And then it got to the point over the years where I was working so many hours. I was sat at a desk all day. Even by this point, I have the office, but the car parking space was directly outside the door. Yeah. So the only steps I was getting in, honestly, I would love to see my step count back then, but I was really stationary all the time. So I would live, eat, breathe, work, and all day I'd be at my desk just snacking. But I got myself to a point, I think I was just miserable, working all the time, not moving, that I just gained a lot of weight. But I was fine. I wasn't fine because probably if I ate one more sausage roll or something, I would have actually died. It got to a really unhealthy place though. Yeah. But to be honest, it got to when you were on Love Island. And by this point, cameras were more of a thing in meetings, and I'd always have them off.
I know, I remember, like, before even going on Love Island, if I saw you on a meeting, your camera would be off. And I used to think, I don't like that.
Yeah, but I never made it a thing. And if brands are listening to this now that I've probably met them by this point, but they're probably listening. And I would always be like, I'm so sorry, my camera's broken. It was never I don't want to come on because I literally am taking up the whole space on the camera right now. I never made it a thing of it coming from a place of insecurity. It was always, my God, I'm so sorry, I've got the laptop on. I'm working on the laptop today that has a cracked camera. It was always that type of excuse. Whereas now, I'm always on the Zoom cameras. However, if I'm having a day where I literally look like absolute unprofessional.
Well, I mean, you sat through my whole Love Island Zoom call like this.
Yeah, I did.
And I can't believe you still do it. Like, I was shocked when I walked on there. I knew it wouldn't be Dad, because Dad just wouldn't do it.
No, but we'll talk about that in a sec, because going back to, I'm talking about, so the first time you were on Love Island,
yeah,
you then got more of a profile. I then was in a situation where at times you were getting some backlash, and I was like, no, this isn't okay, because I know what he is really like in an unedited environment. And okay, granted, not everything can be edited, but it can be very much exaggerated on those shows.
Yeah.
It was like, I need to step forward now and almost not do PR, not crisis control, but almost be like, look, it's not all as black and white as it seems, which then pushed me into not the public eye, because it was never like that at all, but obviously eyes were then going onto my profile, and my profile was my house. I didn't have myself on there.
Yeah,
I might have the
sick
odd
carpet.
selfie.
Everyone knows that carpet.
Yeah, I might have had like the odd selfie, but you wouldn't have caught me in like a full body shot or anything like that. It was always just like my face, maybe like 2 selfies on there, but no one knew who I was unless it was in personal life.
Yeah.
So I never ever put myself out there, and then I was like, whoa, actually, I feel really vulnerable right now. I need to sort myself out and prioritize my health just a little bit to get myself to a place where I'm not freaking out. Like one day I was managing your Instagram while you were in the villa the first time, and I did like a Q&A box, and this one guy, I don't know who it was, to this day I still don't know who he was posting loads of things like, we know you're fat.
I didn't know.
And I was like, I feel like I have told you that before.
No, you haven't.
And I was like, oh my God, like this is obviously someone from Brighton that like, don't expose me, because I don't want anyone to know that I've like really let myself go, and I've got myself into this state. And I got quite upset. And then from that moment, obviously then I went on a bit of like this weight loss journey.
Just a bit. It's incredible.
Yeah, that was just kind of my kick up the arse to be like, oh my God, I've given everything to this business, and I'll still continue to do that, but I do need an element of a balance where I can actually
So
sort
do you
myself
think the
out.
gym and the health and all this has helped you find a more balance within your business? Because before it was 24/7, 7 days a week.
Yeah, and I think also getting with someone that is so health conscious as well. Obviously, I'd sorted it out before being with him, but that's helped, because I feel like it's so easy to get back into that mindset once you sort it out. Like, how do you then maintain it?
Yeah, I don't think people believe, if they saw you before, what you used to look like and how far you've come. Like my PT, who first started with you, nearly 80% of the time I'm in the gym with him or we go fishing together, he will mention, like, I cannot believe what your sister's done.
Really? He
all
didn't
the
say
time.
anything, though. When I saw him,
he's not
like,
going to go,
3
fuck
weeks
me,
ago,
you've lost a load of weight, is he? Like,
no, but I came out of the front door because I was at yours like, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And I haven't seen him since maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah. That was probably the first step where you then lost it. It was from that day. Lou you didn't even want to go in gyms.
No,
we
so
had
I built
a gym
home gym.
at the bottom of the house, and Lou would have to bike to the house because he didn't even drive.
Yeah, because I didn't want to be in a public gym.
Because she didn't want to be in a public gym, and he would train her in the downstairs gym.
But yeah, I stepped out of the house the other day because Lou was meeting you, and I was like, Lou, look, I've lost some weight.
Yeah, I remember.
And he was like, hi. And I thought, oh, you're not going to say anything more?
He mentions it all the time for me. I deep down think he wanted your before and after pictures.
What to post on
His business would have gone like that. Yeah, he mentions it all the time. Everyone I meet mentions it. Jo Song Ho, like my friend from China.
I think it's such a taboo subject where people are so scared to say anything. Like if I see someone that I've not seen for like 3 years, they're like,
but I used to try and encourage
nice.
you. I used to say, come on, we're going on a walk this morning. We used to walk along the seafront. We used to have like a mad dog called Buddy that would need walking, and I used to walk him all the time. But Claudia would just be like whatever. But like how far you've come is incredible. Like incredible.
I think as well, like for context, again, I was in an 8-year relationship where I just got complacent there. Like I didn't feel like I needed.
I think when you get into a relationship, obviously it's the opposite for you now, but like when I've been in relationships, I've always kind of not let myself go, but like you take your foot off the gas. I used to be in the gym all the time, maybe not so much anymore, sorry. But like I think you prioritize other things and it takes a backseat.
Yeah, I think as well it wasn't a case of, I don't know, I don't need to get into, to be fair, that whole relationship, but I was content with working non-stop and knowing I just still had that relationship. But
how much weight have you actually lost? Do you want to say it or not?
Yeah, because I feel like people that are listening might be like, oh, she's lost
a
little bit of weight.
No.
I don't know.
What?
But
What?
No, so I mean, I'm still on that journey now. And the thing is, all I've gone through since you being in Love Island is, why don't you have any confidence? Like, why are you so insecure? No. And I've never touched on it because I didn't want other people either to think that should like hold them back, even though it held me back. I didn't want it to be like, oh, if you're really fat, then you can't be in front of the camera and you should hide yourself. Just because I chose to do that, I didn't want it to like define or feel like anyone else had to be defined by that. So I've not ever spoken about it. But yeah, it was a substantial amount of weight. Double digits.
Yeah, it
in
was
stone.
a lot.
Yeah.
It was
so
a lot.
I mean,
you could have fitted another 3 of you on.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I still have like a little bit to go, but
do you think that's made you a happier person where you are now? You feel confident to walk in rooms now that you never used to? Will you go on camera on a Zoom call?
I go on camera on a Zoom call now, yeah. But
you've got a podcast, so I bloody hope so.
I wouldn't say weight loss has brought happiness as such. I think other elements of my life have done that. But I've always been really confident in my work. Okay, granted, I didn't go on camera, but I've always really backed myself in.
Yeah, I think that was your personality for a long time.
No, it's still my personality.
Okay.
But like on calls and stuff, like my weight it never held me back in that respect. Okay, I didn't have the confidence, but I wouldn't be like the boldest person in the room just because I've lost some weight. And my work capabilities haven't changed at all. But it was a massive part of my journey that,
Would you say that's your proudest moment today?
No.
What would you?
It sounds really corny and stuff, but like I'm so proud of like you, mum, dad. Like I wouldn't ever look at anything I've done myself and think, oh my God, I'm so proud of that.
What would a younger Claudia looking in say to you now?
Things I wish I knew, that is.
What was that?
Things I wish I knew.
Like if you could go back and have one bit of advice for that girl that started the blogger agent at 19, what would it be?
Don't overthink everything. It'll just all work out. Everything always does just work out. I need to tell myself that actually more now. But I feel like I've gone into so many freak out modes about the most minor situations and it's all been absolutely fine. Probably that. Just try not to...
You are a panicker, yeah.
I'm such a panicker. I just try not to overthink everything. Again, I feel like this is just an open therapy session, to be honest, by this point. But we never grew up. I mean, you did, because mum is obsessed with you. But I don't feel like we necessarily grew up with mum and dad being like, I'm so proud of everything you're doing. No.
Mum, probably so.
Feel like,
Dad, not so much. If you get something like that from dad.
Like if I got 10 A's on my GCSEs, which I didn't, but I did well, it would be, well, it's not an A star, is it? He's never meant it in like a horrible way at all, but that's always what I've been used to. Okay, fine, I'm doing well, the business is doing well, but I can be doing better because I've got that mentality from mum and dad never just being like, oh my God, well done, this is so amazing.
Yeah.
You've always had that, I feel like.
I don't think, not from dad, from mum. Maybe dad in sports.
Yeah, like you'd always win the race. But because I was academically the one that was better, but you were the sporty one, I don't know, I think they just enjoyed your journeys.
I mean, it's a bit better watch, isn't it, than writing a book?
Yeah, but I don't know, I just sound really bitter. Obviously, I'm so proud of you, but I don't know. I feel like I've never had really that. Like, mum and dad will tell everyone they're really proud of us, but not us.
Yeah.
And I don't mind that. That's fine. I know they're proud because all their friends tell me that they tell them that they're proud of us, but I think maybe that's why I struggle to be like, I'm so proud of this. There's not like one achievement that I'm like, oh my God, I'm so proud of that, because I think there's always more. Like, I don't think what I'm doing is like a legacy. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I'd quite
I think it is. I think it could be. I think that business would definitely withstand if you weren't here.
Cheers.
Not saying that no, but like it's got the reputation now that it has got a legacy. Maybe you're the founder behind it, but definitely the blogger agent itself is a beast.
Yeah, but like I said before, like there's still so much that I want to do with it.
Okay, so that brings me on to what is next for the blogger agent.
I'm not telling you that.
Okay.
I will tell you that. I'm not telling the cameras that.
Okay, fair. Why do you reckon a lot of agencies will be watching this?
Yeah, I do, which is actually really funny because it's always been really important to me to never look at other agencies.
Yeah.
That's something I've been really, really, really good at, is I don't care what other people are doing. As long as we're doing what we should be doing in the right way, I don't care what other people are doing. Whereas I feel like there are other people with eyes in, which is fine.
I think in this world, I think one of the most dangerous things you could do is compare. I think whether that's with a personal, like even a friend doing something, or a business opposition, you know?
Yeah.
I think comparison is like such a dangerous thing in the mind.
100%. And I think it puts you backwards. Like there's a reason they're behind. Do you know what I mean? Like as long as you're copying us, we're always going to be ahead of the curve anyway. So that's fine. You do your thing and try and replicate what we're doing. But I've seen that be done.
There's only one person that can replicate what you're doing, that's yourself. Because no one can do, like no one is you. Everyone will have a different spin on everything.
Yeah.
You know?
I think as well, it's going back to, there's so many different processes in the business that even internally, not everyone will have visibility on that. I don't know. I think there's so many core values and stuff that make us so different to other agencies out there as well. Like, I truly believe in so many. Yeah, it's not just a case of signing someone on because they're going to be like a quick cash fix or anything like that. It runs so much deeper than that. Like, so much goes into each signing, each deal.
How many businesses in this industry are you seeing trying to replicate what you do, or even just agencies popping up now? Because I see a lot.
Oh my God, so many. There's not a number on it. It's such a saturated market now. But even, it's, again, I know maybe you'll be like, you're not giving yourself enough credit or whatever, but if I started this today, I don't think
I think you would definitely be a lot of struggle. You saw a gap in the market.
Yeah.
And started when how many agencies were around then?
2 others that I can think of worldwide.
And did any of them ever reach out for you to try and work for them or to join forces? Like, have you ever had discussions like that?
No, never. When it comes to the other agencies out there, and this isn't me being shady at all, because I do genuinely want everyone to win. I think we do it better, but do you know what I mean? There's room for everyone in any industry. However, because I started 10 years ago, the stuff that I learned 10, 9, 8, 7 years ago, the new ones now are having to learn and make those mistakes.
Yeah.
Now, so they're not... Yeah.
If you weren't doing the blogger agent, what do you think you would be doing?
That's hard. It's all I've ever known, really. Probably maybe working for Susie still.
Do you think?
I would have stuck within the media world, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's always, like, you've always wanted to be behind the scenes doing something.
100%. Even this is so out of my comfort zone, and I probably will sack it off. Like, to be completely transparent. But, like, this is a situation I would have never put myself in 3 years ago.
Pussy.
So, thanks.
Like I said, when I saw your face in Love Island, I'm not going to lie, I thought being ITV, or especially not you coming on, it would be mum or a face that they could get on who knew me, to try and, just because people would want to see that, you know? And to see you, I was like, that is weird. I remember saying to Grace at night, like, she would never have done that. Like, I was shocked. So yeah, that was when I kind of knew. I was like, wow, that's a big step for Claudia.
Yeah, because before that point...
And I thought, if Claudia's on, am I doing really bad? Because is this like you rescuing me here, like trying to be like...
No, not at all.
No,
someone asked me actually how the whole Love Island thing came about the other day. It's because we had a literal bet. Do you remember?
We had a bet?
You went through a breakup, and I was like, I came home and I was like, I had a call today with ITV.
Yeah.
And they're casting for Love Island. And you were like, I bet you couldn't get me on that show. And I was like, okay, do you want to bet? And then obviously arrange the whole casting.
Yeah. And they're like, can he do a video? And I was like, no.
Yeah, but you got...
Yeah, I know, somehow I still got on,
Yeah, and you thought that we couldn't have that pull. And I think that's actually the first point where mum and dad were like, oh, actually, okay, maybe the agency is fairly serious.
What, because you got me on Love Island?
No, but I think that's when you were on at the point. I was like, that's actually a flex.
Well, that I went on Love Island. Now you'd be like, why have you gone on Love Island?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
You're a disgrace to my agency.
No, but...
It's a bad look.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go that far. But at the time, I don't know if you lot necessarily took it that serious and you were like, you wouldn't have that pull.
I mean, you should have probably definitely had me more PR trainings before I went on.
Yeah,
I went in there from working with like 50-year-old men in a fish market, like all geezers, yes bruv, like, oh, how's your bird this week? Do you know what I mean? Like, I was so not ready for TV at 22 as well. It's like, it was early, but All Stars was a lot more of a nicer experience.
That was a much better experience.
Yeah, because like...
And you've matured a lot.
And like, I was in the football, I was in the change room chat, like me and Chats kind of went in there like similar sort of vibe.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't do well for yourself on TV.
No.
But like, you learn a lot.
Yeah. And I feel like you went in there the second time round knowing yourself more.
Yeah, definitely. Not about me today anyway. Quick fire round.
Oh, we're doing that?
Yeah.
None of your bishness.
Just a quick fire round.
Okay, go on then.
Right, we're playing none of your business. We're playing none of your bishness.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Coffee order.
When I went through the weight loss journey, I stopped drinking coffee.
You're missing out.
So, no,
Grace has converted me to a matcha boy, and
no, I'm matcha.
It
that's
is
not
incredible.
Coffee, that's not
it is coffee. Matcha is basically a coffee.
No, that's caffeine. It's not coffee.
Well, it's the nearest thing I've got to coffee. So
okay, well, I was drinking a lot of coffee pre that journey, so I stopped with the coffee, and now I'm probably going to get to that point again because I drink so much matcha.
This is Quickfire, by the way.
Okay.
Greatest achievement to date? Being my sister.
And then next.
Is that really?
No, probably not.
Fair.
No, that's not really an achievement though, is it? Do you know what? Stepping into doing this, even though I don't want to carry it on, this is probably my greatest achievement, is stepping out of my comfort zone and just hitting the fuck it button, yeah.
Fair play. Quickfire, remember, yeah? Most surreal moment in business.
This can't be Quickfire with answers
Right,
like
biggest
this.
ick.
Biggest ick in what?
Laziness. Anything. Laziness.
Biggest ick. Oh no. Tripped up like 3 times in a row the other day and I was like, that's the biggest ick.
Tripping.
Tripped up, yeah. And I thought, ugh.
Watch them curves. Morning person or night owl?
Morning.
One word to describe you?
What would you say? Go on, give me a word.
Oh, you are kind.
Okay, kind.
Kind.
Okay, kind. Dedicated. Yeah,
Dedicated. Okay.
Resilient.
We've
This
got
is a
the
lot of
word. It's
words.
dedicated.
Okay, dedicated.
One word to describe the blogger agent.
Ooh.
Do you know
Empowering.
what? I actually think you should change
Empowering.
the business name to the Bish Agency.
No.
Okay.
Empowering.
Last thing that made you cry? I think it was Mum, wasn't it? Shouting at you. How do you think it was? Tea.
Last thing that made me cry. I think you're probably right.
Or life in general, but yeah.
No, I cried. I cry a lot.
Okay. Dinner with anyone dead or alive, who?
Ooh. As in celebrities or like family?
Just anyone. This Quickfire is the slowest quickfire ever.
I was literally just thinking Whitney Houston.
We'd be dead with her in a minute.
I think Oprah would be a really cool one.
She's alive. Oh,
Yeah,
you
he
can
said
do
dead or alive. Kris Jenner.
Kim Kardashian.
Kris Jenner. Okay.
That's so boring.
Go-to comfort food.
Calamari rings from M&S.
What's your toxic trait?
Working too much.
I want to know this. You probably will say no. Biggest fee one of your talents turned down? Oh, when it comes to money, everyone's shut up, haven't they? Huh? Everyone's like, go on, what is it?
No, hundreds of thousands of pounds.
Roughly?
6 figures it would be, for sure.
Would
For
have
like a
sounded
longer
better if
term
it was
contract
7.
that doesn't feel right.
One of your talents that's most surprised you the most?
No, I can't just single one talent out. None of your business.
Fair. Who's mum or dad's favourite?
You.
Why do you think I asked? I think that's it. I mean, you've gone on about weight loss. You've gone on about being depressed.
I know, but I feel like people
You've
are only
been
going to
gone on about.
you.
You've gone on about not going out when you were a kid. You've gone on about our parents don't say you're proud.
Oh no,
Moving
don't.
back
Do you think they'll
home.
take that the wrong way?
I don't know what banter I could slip in there, but there is no banter going in this. All
But
right?
yeah, true. Actually,
You need to
it
go
wasn't
out with
really
your
a-
makeup team, Jesus.
Yeah.
Sister's brought me here today to interview her. I would have liked to show more personality, but it's been a bit deep, but didn't mind it. It's nice for you to get it all off your chest. But thanks for watching and come back for the next episode of Bishness As Usual.
But you won't be watching.
I always watch the TikToks and the little clips. I'm sorry, I did try and make her cry, but she didn't.
No.
I didn't
have to
really.
be
I actually
as-
didn't want to put up with her crying today. I'm not going to lie. Like, I am your brother at the end of the day. If I was, like, doing this as a professional podcast,
Yeah.
I probably could have got a tear out of you.
I
Not gonna
have
lie.
to be at a certain point in my period cycle. menstrual
No, I
cycle
could have
to-
definitely made you cry. I would have just said, I'm proud of you and other
That's
stuff.
not making me cry. You've just said it.
Yeah, fair.
Thanks for listening to Bishness As Usual. If you enjoyed the episode, please make sure to follow, subscribe, and leave a rating on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes will drop every Monday, so until then, stay inspired and we'll get back down to Bishness next week.